Welcome to the Artificial Fluency Podcast. I'm Sadie, and I'm so glad you're here today. You know what? I was thinking about something this morning while I was making my coffee, and this might sound funny, but I realized I was listening to an English podcast while making breakfast, and I thought, this is it. This is exactly what I need to talk about today. Because here's the thing. So many English learners ask me, Sadie, how do I improve my listening skills? And they're expecting me to say, sit down and study for 2 hours every day, but that's not realistic, right? We all have busy lives. We have jobs, we have families, we have responsibilities. So today, we're going to talk about something I'm really excited about: how to practice English listening in your daily life, not by adding more to your schedule, but by using the time you already have. Making breakfast? That's listening practice time. Commuting to work? Perfect opportunity. Doing the dishes? Another chance to improve. I'm going to share practical strategies that have worked for thousands of English learners, including myself when I was learning other languages. And I promise you, by the end of this episode, you're going to see listening practice opportunities everywhere. But before we dive in, I upload new videos to our channel every day for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support me so I can continue doing this. You can help me see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of my videos. Please don't forget to do these. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about turning your daily life into English listening practice. First, let's be honest about something. Listening is hard. Even if you know a lot of English grammar and vocabulary, understanding spoken English, especially fast, natural English, can be really challenging. Why is that? Well, there are several reasons. First, native speakers use contractions and connected speech. They don't say, I am going to go to the store. They say, I'm going to go to the store. They blend words together. They drop sounds. This is completely normal, but if you've only heard textbook English, it sounds completely different. Second, there are so many different accents. British English sounds different from American English. Australian English is different again. And even within one country, people in different regions have different accents. Add to that non-native speakers from all over the world, and you have a huge variety of English sounds. Third, people use idioms, slang, and cultural references that you might not learn in a traditional classroom. If someone says, I'm feeling under the weather, and you don't know this idiom means sick, you'll be confused, even though you know all the individual words. And finally, real conversations happen fast. There are no pauses, no time to translate in your head, no rewind button in real life. So, what's the solution? The solution is exposure. Lots and lots of exposure to real, authentic English in many different contexts. And the best way to get that exposure is to integrate listening practice into your daily routine. The beautiful thing about listening practice is that you can do it while doing other things. You can't read and cook at the same time, but you can listen and cook at the same time. This makes listening practice incredibly flexible and sustainable. If you like this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Let's start with the morning. What does your typical morning look like? You wake up, maybe you're getting ready for work or school, making breakfast, getting dressed. These are all perfect times for listening practice. Here's what I recommend for morning listening. While getting ready. When you're in the bathroom, brushing your teeth, doing your hair, getting dressed, these are times when your hands are busy but your ears are free. This is perfect for podcasts or news programs. I suggest starting your day with something not too complex. Remember, your brain is just waking up. Choose content that's interesting but not overwhelming. Maybe a short news summary, a motivational podcast, or even just English music. For B1 to B2 learners, I recommend BBC Learning English Daily Podcasts. They're short and clear. VOA Learning English News, slower, clearer speech. TED Talks on topics you enjoy, news in slow English. The key is consistency. If you listen to English every single morning while getting ready, after a month, that's 30 sessions. After a year, that's 365 sessions. The improvement will be massive. During breakfast. Breakfast is another great opportunity. If you eat breakfast alone, why not watch a short English video or listen to a podcast? Here's a strategy that works really well. Find a YouTube channel that posts daily content that interests you. It could be about cooking, science, technology, fitness, anything you're passionate about. Subscribe to that channel and watch one video every morning with your breakfast. Why does this work so well? Because you're genuinely interested in the content, not just forcing yourself to listen to English for the sake of it. When you're interested, you pay attention naturally. You want to understand. This makes learning much more effective and enjoyable. During your commute, if you drive, take public transportation, or even walk to work or school, this is prime listening time. For drivers, audiobooks and podcasts are perfect. You can listen to fiction, nonfiction, business content, self-help, whatever interests you. The important thing is choosing content at an appropriate level. For B1 to B2 learners, I recommend starting with young adult fiction if you're listening to audiobooks. These books use simpler language than adult fiction, but are still interesting and well-written. The Hunger Games, Harry Potter, or The Fault in the Stars are great examples. For podcasts, choose topics you already know something about. If you love cooking, listen to cooking podcasts. If you're interested in business, find business podcasts. Background knowledge helps you understand even when you miss some words. Pro tip: many podcast apps let you adjust the speed. If native speed is too fast, slow it down to 0.75x or 0.8x. As you improve, gradually increase the speed back to normal. Now let's talk about your work or study time. This requires a bit more strategy because you obviously can't listen to English while you're actively working or studying, but there are still opportunities. During breaks. Instead of scrolling through social media during your break, we all do it, I know, try watching a 5 to 10 minute English video. YouTube is full of short, entertaining content. You could watch comedy sketches or stand-up comedy clips, educational channels like TED or Vsauce, how-to videos about your hobbies, movie or TV show clips. The advantage of video over pure audio during breaks is that you get visual context, which helps comprehension. Plus, it's entertaining, so it actually feels like a break, not like studying. Background listening, when appropriate. If you have a job that allows background listening, maybe you do data entry, design work, or manual work that doesn't require constant focus, you can listen to English while working. The best content for background listening is something you've heard before. Here's why. When you listen to something for the second or third time, you're not struggling to understand every word. You already know the general content, so your brain can pick up details you missed the first time. This is incredibly valuable. I often re-listen to podcasts I enjoyed while I'm doing household chores or working on repetitive tasks. Each time, I understand more. I catch phrases I missed before. I notice pronunciations more clearly. Lunch break listening. Your lunch break is another golden opportunity. If you eat lunch alone, this is perfect podcast or audiobook time. If you eat lunch with colleagues, you could even suggest watching an English language show together if they're interested in learning too. Here's an interesting strategy. Watch the same show every day during lunch. Pick a sitcom or series you enjoy. Watching the same characters repeatedly helps you get used to their voices and speaking patterns. Shows like Friends, The Office, or Brooklyn Nine-Nine are great because the episodes are short, about 20 minutes, and the language is conversational.
Exercise time is absolutely fantastic for listening practice. Whether you're at the gym, running, walking, doing yoga, or working out at home, listening to English can make your workout more enjoyable and productive. For high-intensity exercise, if you're doing intense cardio, running, cycling, intense workouts, your brain might not be able to focus deeply on complex content. That's okay. This is a good time for English music. Really listen to the lyrics. Try to understand what the song is about. Motivational podcasts or speeches. Simple entertainment content that doesn't require deep focus. The goal here isn't to analyze every word. It's just to get your ears used to English sounds and rhythms. For low-intensity exercise, walking, light jogging, yoga, stretching, these activities allow for more mental focus. This is a great time for educational podcasts, language learning podcasts, audiobooks, interesting interviews. I have a friend who learned so much English during her daily walks. She would walk for an hour every evening while listening to audiobooks. In 1 year, she listened to over 50 books. Her listening comprehension improved dramatically. For weight training or gym time, if you're at the gym, lifting weights or using machines, the rest periods between sets are perfect for short video content. You could watch fitness channels in English, motivational content, short educational videos. Some people also like watching English language TV shows on their phone between sets. It makes the workout time pass more quickly. The beautiful thing about listening during exercise is that you're getting two benefits at once: physical health and English improvement. It's efficient and it makes both activities more enjoyable. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us.
Now let's talk about one of my favorite times for listening practice. Doing household chores. Cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, organizing. All of these activities are perfect for English listening. While cooking. Cooking is an excellent time for listening because you're usually in one place, your hands are busy, but your mind is relatively free. Here's what works well. Cooking shows and food channels in English. You're already thinking about food. Podcasts on any topic. Audiobooks. Even English language cooking tutorials. You're learning cooking and English. I personally love listening to podcasts while cooking dinner. It's become such a pleasant routine for me. I look forward to both the cooking and the listening. One tip. If you're following a recipe, especially a new one, maybe stick to lighter content that doesn't require deep focus. Save the complex podcasts for simpler cooking tasks, like chopping vegetables or waiting for something to boil. While cleaning. Cleaning is probably the best chore for listening practice because most cleaning tasks are automatic. You don't need to think much about how to vacuum or wipe counters, so your brain is free to focus on listening. This is a great time for longer podcasts or audiobooks, educational content you want to really understand, challenging listening material because you can rewind if needed since you're at home. I've noticed that I often remember podcast content better when I was cleaning while listening. Maybe it's because the physical activity helps my brain process the information. While doing laundry. The nice thing about laundry is that it's broken into chunks. Sorting, loading, folding. Each chunk is a good listening opportunity. While folding clothes especially, try watching YouTube videos. You can see the screen easily and pause when you need to. This is great for educational channels, learning new topics, watching talks or lectures. While driving or doing errands. Any time you're in the car is listening time. Grocery shopping while wearing headphones, listening time. Walking to the store, listening time. The key is always having something ready to listen to. Download podcasts or audiobook chapters to your phone so you're never without English content. Let's talk about the evening and leisure time. This is when you have more flexibility and can be more intentional with your listening practice. Evening routine. After work or school, while making dinner, eating, or relaxing, this is prime time for listening. But here's the thing, you probably want something enjoyable, not something that feels like homework. This is the perfect time for entertainment. Watch a TV series in English with English subtitles. Watch movies you enjoy. Listen to comedy podcasts that make you laugh. Watch YouTube content creators you genuinely like. The key is choosing content you would want to watch even in your native language. This way, it doesn't feel like studying, it feels like relaxing, but you're still learning. Active listening versus passive listening. Let me explain an important distinction. There are two types of listening practice. Active listening is when you focus completely on understanding. You might watch something with English subtitles, pause to look up words you don't know, rewind parts you didn't understand, take notes on useful phrases. Passive listening is when English is in the background. You're not focusing on every word, but your brain is still processing the sounds and patterns of English. Both types are valuable. Active listening helps you learn specific vocabulary and structures. Passive listening helps with fluency and getting used to the rhythm and sound of English. For B1 to B2 learners, I recommend 70% active listening with full focus, 30% passive listening with background exposure. Before bed. The time before sleep is interesting for listening practice. Some people like to listen to calming English content before bed, maybe a gentle podcast or audiobook. This can help you fall asleep while still getting English exposure. However, be careful with this. If the content is too interesting or stimulating, it might keep you awake. I recommend stories you've already heard. Familiar content is soothing. Nature documentaries with calm narration. Meditation or relaxation apps in English. Calm, slow-paced podcasts. One of my students told me she listens to English sleep meditation videos every night. Not only does she sleep better, but her listening comprehension has improved dramatically.
Now, let's talk about how to choose the right listening content. This is really important because the wrong content can be frustrating and demotivating. The comprehension rule. Here's a general rule. You should understand about 70 to 80% of what you're listening to. If you understand less than 70%, the content is too difficult. You'll get frustrated and won't enjoy it. If you understand more than 90%, the content might be too easy. You won't be learning as much. The sweet spot is that 70 to 80% range where you understand most of it, but there are still new words and phrases to learn. Different content for different goals. Think about what you want to improve. For accent training, listen to people from the region whose accent you want to learn. If you want to sound American, listen to American content. If you prefer British English, focus on BBC programs. For speed training, start with slower content and gradually increase speed. Many podcasts and audiobooks let you adjust playback speed. For vocabulary expansion, listen to content in fields you're interested in. If you want to learn business English, listen to business podcasts. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows. For conversational English, watch sitcoms, reality TV, vlogs, or interview podcasts. These show how people really talk in everyday situations. For formal English, listen to news programs, documentaries, or academic lectures. Resources I recommend for B1 to B2 learners. Let me give you some specific recommendations. Podcasts. 6-Minute English by BBC Learning English, short, clear, interesting topics. All Ears English, focused on American English and cultural understanding. The English We Speak by BBC teaches idioms and modern expressions. Any podcasts about topics you love, cooking, science, history, true crime, etc. YouTube channels, TED and TEDx Talks, subtitles available, interesting topics, clear speakers. Crash Course, educational content on many subjects. Vox, interesting explanations about how things work. English learning channels like Rachel's English or English with Lucy. TV shows and movies. Start with shows you've already seen in your language. You know the plot, so it's easier to follow. Sitcoms like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, The Big Bang Theory.
Drama series like Stranger Things, The Crown, reality shows, often simpler language and lots of visual context. Audiobooks, young adult fiction, simpler language, engaging stories, books you've already read in your language. Short story collections, easier to finish, feel accomplished. Apps, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, free podcasts, Audible, audiobooks, YouTube, endless free content, Netflix or other streaming services. Entertainment with learning. Let's address some common challenges that B1 to B2 learners face with listening practice. Challenge 1. I don't understand anything. If you're listening to something and understanding almost nothing, the content is too difficult. Don't force yourself. Find something easier. There's no shame in starting with simpler content. It's better to understand most of a simple conversation than understand nothing of a complex one. Solution. Use subtitles when needed. Start with English subtitles, not your native language. This helps connect spoken and written English. As you improve, remove subtitles. Challenge 2. I get tired quickly when listening. Listening in a foreign language is exhausting for your brain. It's completely normal to feel tired after 20 to 30 minutes of focused listening. Solution. Take breaks. Don't try to listen for hours straight. Short, frequent sessions are better than long, exhausting ones. Even 15 minutes of quality listening is valuable. Challenge 3. I understand when I'm focused, but not in real conversations. This happens because real conversations are unpredictable and fast. You can't pause or rewind. Solution. Practice with content that mimics real conversation. Vlogs, reality TV, unscripted interviews. These are more like real speech than scripted shows or audiobooks. Challenge 5. Different accents confuse me. English has so many accents, it's overwhelming. Solution. Start with one accent and master it. Once you're comfortable, gradually add others. Watch shows from different English-speaking countries. Listen to podcasts with guests from various backgrounds. Over time, your ear will adjust. Challenge 6. I don't have time. This is the most common excuse, but remember, you don't need to add time to your day. You're replacing other audio or silence with English audio. Solution. Start very small, just 10 minutes a day. That's all. Once it becomes a habit, you'll naturally expand. But even 10 minutes daily is 3,650 minutes a year, over 60 hours of listening practice. The key to improving listening skills is consistency. Listening to English once a week for 3 hours is much less effective than listening 20 minutes every single day. How to build the habit? 1. Start small. Don't try to listen to English all day immediately. Start with just one part of your day, maybe just your morning routine or just your commute. Master that first. 2. Connect it to existing habits. Pair English listening with something you already do every day. Every time I make coffee, I listen to a podcast. Every time I drive to work, I listen to an audiobook. This makes the habit stick. 3. Make it easy. Have your listening content ready. Subscribe to podcasts so new episodes download automatically. Keep a list of YouTube channels you like. Save audiobooks you want to listen to. Remove friction. 4. Make it enjoyable. Choose content you actually want to consume. If you hate the news, don't force yourself to listen to news podcasts. Find what you love. Comedy, stories, sports, science, whatever. 5. Track your progress. Keep a simple log. Maybe just check off days when you did listening practice. Seeing a streak of check marks is motivating. Or track hours per month. Many apps can do this automatically. 6. Mix it up. Don't listen to the same type of content all the time. Variety keeps it interesting and exposes you to different vocabulary and speaking styles. 7. Be patient. Listening skills improve gradually. You might not notice improvement day to day, But if you compare yourself to 3 months ago, you'll see real progress. Trust the process. Wow, we covered a lot today. We talked about finding listening opportunities throughout your day, morning routines, commutes, exercise, household chores, evening relaxation. We discussed choosing the right content for your level and interests. We addressed common challenges and how to overcome them. And we talked about building sustainable habits that will transform your English listening skills. The most important thing I want you to remember is this. You don't need to add huge blocks of time to your schedule to improve your listening. You just need to use the time you already have more intentionally. Turn your morning coffee into podcast time. Turn your commute into audiobook time. Turn your cleaning time into English time. Small daily actions create massive results over time. If you listen to English for just 30 minutes a day, which is so easy to do when you integrate it into activities you're already doing, that's 182 hours per year. That's transformative. So here's your challenge. Pick one time slot in your day. Just one. Maybe it's your morning routine, or your workout time, or your evening commute. For the next week, listen to English during that time every single day. Make it non-negotiable. After a week, it'll start feeling natural. After a month, it'll be automatic. Thank you so much for spending 40 minutes with me today. I hope this episode gave you practical ideas you can implement immediately. If you try any of these strategies, let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you. Remember, I upload new lessons every single day, so subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building your English skills together, one day at a time. Keep listening, keep learning, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. This is Sadie from the Artificial Fluency Podcast. Until next time, happy listening.